Welcome back to another Revival
good?
podcast. Today we're really excited because we have a special guest, our friend Caleb. So, Caleb, you can come in.
Peace and blessings, everybody.
How you doing, man?
Man, honestly, life is good. I'm
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
great.
that's
Very
good.
blessed. How about yourself?
Dude, we're doing great, man. We're
Amazing.
super happy and
Yes, sir.
joyful that you're here today. Happy we can make it happen. I know
Yes,
last
sir.
week we tried to make it happen, but we forgot it was Father's Day weekend. So, nah, man, we really appreciate you coming.
Thank you for having
appreciate
me.
you
Yes.
having you here. And for anyone who doesn't know you, can you just introduce yourself a little bit?
Of course, man. So I just wanted to first and foremost just say thank you guys once again for inviting me on the podcast. It's a blessing. I'm always ready to testify and, give an answer to those who ask. But my name is Caleb Yarborough. I'm 18 years old, almost 19. Coming soon, very soon. We actually have the same birthday, which is pretty cool. You're the first
Yeah, we
person.
found out we had the same birthday. Yeah,
You're the first person that I've actually met with the same birthday. But like I said, I've been in the faith for about 2 years now.
All right.
And my passion is, I live for people. I'm here for people. I believe God has placed me on this world, not for myself, but, for others.
Amen.
And I'm very passionate about fitness and nutrition, so I'm, building the little business,
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a little bit
Man,
about me.
That's crazy, man. I remember like when we met you, I was telling you because you were telling me all this, and I was like, dang, like this guy has everything set. Like at your age, you have everything set what you want to do. I remember at that age, like I'm 26 now, but like at that age, I didn't know what I wanted to do. That's when I first met God too, and I was like, okay, God, like you gotta show me what you want me to do, cause like I don't know what I'm gonna do for a job. I don't know what I'm gonna do for anything. But you have all set. You already have everything you want to do.
All glory to God, man. It
that's
was not
crazy.
easy. Yes,
Nah,
sir.
yeah,
It was
that's
not,
good.
yeah.
Now my first question for you, man, is like I want the people out there to hear your testimony, man. Because
Okay.
when we heard your testimony, it was something crazy that I've never heard. And even when you put those pictures up there, which you'll talk a little bit about, I was getting chills on my and everybody that was there, because he went to one of our youth events and he kind of talked about his testimony. I've never seen all the youth paid so much. Everybody was paying attention to you, man. I was like,
Yeah.
But so if you could just talk a little bit about that, and like especially to the people out there,
Of course.
because there might be someone out there like going through the same thing,
Right.
And hearing this will be something that can help them out.
Okay, yeah, for sure. So long story short, like I said, I am 2 years in the faith. So I grew up with a Christian background, Christian family, but it was more forced upon me, more religion, on this day I couldn't listen to this, or on this day I couldn't wear this, or this day you're going to church,
Can't do this.
Exactly, yeah. So
More rules and
exactly,
anything. Yeah.
exactly. Instead of that relationship, although I wanted that relationship,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love the Lord, but it was when it came to the point of, all the rules and regulations and, conservative, and I was just like, man, that kind of pushed me away.
Yeah.
And then I ended up going into the world and trying to do, I had like a little prodigal son moment. I was like, you know what, give me my inheritance, I'm gonna go and, do what I want. And I was in the world, and I would say this was around 2.5 years ago, so I'm still new in the faith, I'm still kind of like shocked because it all feels like yesterday, ever since everything went down. And I would say 2.5 years ago, I was lost, I was blind, I was hurt because, growing up, I seen a lot, been through a lot, I was abused as a kid. I seen my mom being abused, my stepmoms, so there was a lot of just hurt and hate, growing up, and also substance abuse as well.
Yeah.
So my dad, my mom, just, how it is,
Yeah.
substance abuse, and I had to grow up seeing that, and one thing that really got to me is one day my mom almost died right in front of me, because of my stepdad. So I grew up seeing a lot of things, and I never really, dealt with that pain, and I didn't really know how to cope with it. So I kind of just tried to numb it and, shrug it off to the
Put it
side.
away,
Exactly,
yeah. Try to hide it, yeah.
Exactly. But deep down inside, it was there. So that's kind of what I was running from. I was running from that trauma. I was running from that pain. As a kid, I was always, neglected, rejected.
Yeah.
I've never been the type to fit in with the crowd, I've always been different, and growing up, I didn't have all the money in the world, so I would grow up looking at other kids and they having the nice Jordans and the nice, the name brand stuff. And I'm over here like, man, so
I wish I could have that,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. So I could say, most of my life, I was just trying to find who I am, just trying to fit in and feel that love, because even though there was love in the house, there was also, I could say there was more hate, more, traumatic experiences, that kind of trampled over everything. So I was searching for that love. I was searching for that recognition, so I ended up, battling with depression, very, very deep depression. Like I said, not knowing how to cope with the, things that I was doing, going through, seeing, and that's when that depression ended up leading into, getting into drugs. So I got into drugs because I was trying to cope with the pain, like I said, trying to rub off and push off the feelings and emotions instead of dealing with them right then and there. Because the only way, to heal is if, you take the Band-Aid off. But if you keep the Band-Aid on, it's not going to, you got to let it breathe, and I was trying to keep that Band-Aid on by smoking and getting high and stuff like that. And it was just making everything worse. And then, like I said, I went down a very, very, very dark road, dark path, ended up getting into gangs. Cause like I said, I wanted to be accepted. And the area that I was in, what was popping in that area was Crips, and I was like, so, there's gangs, everybody seems to be, brotherly love, so I ended up getting into the gangs because I felt accepted, I felt seen, and I started, going up in, fame, and everybody knew me because I was everywhere, I've been moving all my life, so, everybody knew me from different areas, and I was just being reckless, like I said, just trying to do my own thing, find my own way, find my own peace, and it really got pretty crazy. I did a lot of bad things that I regret, but at the same time, everything happens for a reason. That mess. God always turns our mess to messages. I know that now. So it got so bad to where I ended up deep in the gangs, I ended up making music and the music was just demonic, man, I'm like, I look back at it now and I'm like, man, that's crazy, like I was, possessed by, this,
And one thing I want to, sorry about the gang stuff is crazy because like when I was younger, that's one thing too that like, I didn't get into a gang, but like in the neighborhood where I was at wasn't the best neighborhood. It was like a trailer park and like there was a lot of gangs in it. So like, I wasn't part of them, but I would hang out with them, and like you felt like, oh my god, like this is a family. Like they always promise you like, no, whatever you need, here. If you need money, here. If you need someone, like someone's messaging you, here. So like, especially like you said, someone that doesn't fit in, like for you, you feel like, oh shoot, this is real family. Like this is real love. Like at home, there's just fighting, but here is like, these are my homies. Like and I remember I was feeling, so I completely understand that part. Of like the gangs and stuff, because sometimes like people are like, how do you get into that? Like all they do is bad things, but sometimes like they're more together than an actual family. Sometimes
exactly.
So that's how they bring you in through that, and especially someone that like needs that kind of love, needs someone to like be seen, or like like you were getting being seen and stuff. Like that's something that you can really like fall into and really be part of.
And then you're
crazy.
stuck, it's like you're stuck. Like, hey, the only person that can help you is God. So
that's crazy, man. Sorry, you can keep going.
Yeah, no problem. So like I said, I ended up getting deep into the gangs, and I thank you for commenting on that. If you know, if you know. So, and not only getting deep in the gangs, but drugs. So it started off as lighting cigarettes on my kitchen stove and running out the house and smoking. I couldn't find a lighter, so it started that way. Started with the nicotine, and then it started with it was weed, and then that's like the gateway drug to the different stuff. So once the weed wasn't hitting like it used to, because I was smoking in the morning, at school, they have the bell system. So every time the bell rings for the next class, I'm in that bathroom with, my homies, smoking, getting high. And that's all I would do, even in the classroom. Like I would smoke in the classroom. So it got super bad to where if I didn't have it, like I wasn't the same person, and if I didn't have it, I'd find a way to get it, like no matter the cost. Like if I have to steal it, exactly, So it got that bad, and smoking and stuff, it just made my depression worse. So this is the part of my testimony where I ended up having a lot of suicidal thoughts, you know, because I was like, man, like, I have all this fame, you know, I have a nice car, you know, my brother lived in a mansion, so I got, you know, to experience how, you know, the luxury is. And I was like, man, like, it's all vanity, it's all empty. And I couldn't understand that. I'm like, man, like, why am I still feeling like this? I still have this void in my heart, you know, and I was just confused, you know. So I was like, man, like, I don't even want to be here, like, you know what I'm saying? And even though I was being seen, and even though I was around a lot of people, I still felt like I wasn't seen. I still felt like, you know, I was alone. You know, and I was like, man, like, if I were to leave this earth, nobody would even, you know, care. Nobody would know, you know. So I had those thoughts creeping in, and now I know who it was now. But yeah, I started, you know, cutting myself, man, and because I was numb, honestly. I'm just going to be fluent with you guys. I was numb, and I was trying to feel the pain. And even when I'm cutting, I'm like, I'm not feeling nothing, man. So it just got, like I said, man, you know, the enemy had me. You know, he had me. But one day, and this is where it kind of gets a little funny. One day, my mom actually catches me smoking, right? So quick little story. So I was hanging out with my friends, right? A bunch of us, we were in the woods, you know, just smoking, you know, doing dumb stuff, you know. And then I get a call from my mom, and she's like, where are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm hanging out with some friends and stuff like that. And then, what's going on? Okay. But yeah, so I'm like, yeah, I'm hanging out with some friends and stuff. And then she's like, did you take your brother's $20? I'm like, no, even though I did, because I had to get that weed. I did. I stole from my brother. And I was like, no. And then she was like, get your right now, you know, like cussing and stuff like that. Hispanic moms, if you know, you know. But yeah, so I was scared because I'm high out of my mind, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have no eye drops. Oh my gosh, like I'm totally gonna get caught right here. So I get to the house, and everybody is in my room. My stepdad, my brother, my mom, and my whole room is just torn apart. Like clothes everywhere, my closet's open, like because she was looking for that money. So, yeah, just for the $20. She tore up my room for that $20, man. So I got there, and I'm looking around, like, what the heck? I mean, it ain't that serious. It's just $20. And then she looks me in my face, and she's like, where have you been? And I was like, I told you, you know, hanging out with my friends and stuff like that. And then she obviously knew that I was high. I could not control myself. Like, I could not. I couldn't even focus on what she was saying. And then next thing you know, now that she knows that I'm high, she starts searching. She didn't even say, oh, are you high? She knew it. You know, she kept quiet. And she started searching in my closet. And I had a bunch of stuff in my jacket. And so the stuff, my jacket with the stuff in it was right here. And she started right here. And she was just going down the line of my jackets. And my heart started beating. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm done for. Like,
she finds that, I'm dead, man.
She's definitely going to fight it. Because she's checking every single, she's not missing one or two. She's not missing any. She's checking every single, you know.
Every single pocket.
Exactly. Every single pocket. Yeah, so I'm like, yo, my heart's beating. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it. Like, my life is ruined, you know. And she ends up finding it and stuff like that. And the crazy thing is, I thought, you know, she was going to hit me with the chancla at first, you know. But she actually didn't. She ended up taking away my phone, you know, that I just got. She ended up moving my schools. Which was pretty big for me because I was playing football, very nice school.
And you have friends, then you gotta make friends all over.
Exactly. So she moved my schools, and then she took me to the barber and had me shave off all my hair. So, and she knows that I love my hair. Like, I've always, like, to this day, I love my hair, and she knows that. So.
Did you have the same haircut as now, or?
I did not. So, I had a lot of hair, and I had like free forms and stuff like that. So like God changed everything about me, like not only my inside but my appearance. But yeah, so the whole point of her like changing my schools is because she said that she wanted to get me away from the gangs, away from the violence and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But that's everywhere. Like, you cannot run from that. Like, especially in the world that we're in, like any school, even if it's the top 5, you know, whatever it is.
Private school.
Exactly.
Anywhere you go.
And even even in Christian schools too, you're going to find, you know, the enemy, this is, you know, his territory, you know? So, moved my schools, and man, everything just got worse from there, man. Because the school that I went to, it's like the teachers did not care. You know what I'm saying? There was more, gang members. Over there at that school, the gang that I was in, it was more popular over there. So man, I just kept going down, and I kept going down. And then one day I was like, man, okay, I'm gonna actually stop, smoking. I'm gonna get my grades up, because my grades were like not doing good. You know what I'm saying? Like they were. So I was like, you know what? I'm still doing football. Let me get my grades up, because if you don't have good grades, you're not playing. Like they're not gonna put you in. It's education first. So I ended up doing good, and I quit smoking. My grades were good, and it's something about when you're trying to turn, from your evil ways, and that's when the enemy's like, oh, really? You think you know what I'm saying? And I was not expecting that, honestly. And I'm doing good, like I said, and I come home from school, and one thing that I used to love to do is play video games. Like I was playing, I had a stream, everything, everything was going good.
What were you playing?
I was playing Call of Duty, Warzone, Fortnite, just all of the games. Yeah, I was all of them, man. Like whatever was popular, whatever I can bring views and get views, that's what I was doing. Because it's an algorithm. People are not gonna watch this random game, that nobody play. You know what I'm saying? So I would just hop in from game to game, and then I walk out of my room, just to grab a snack, and I notice my mom's acting a little weird. She's acting a little slow, and I'm like, okay, maybe maybe she's tired or something. It's like maybe she's tired, because she done left she was digging. She had the munchies. I'm gonna just keep it short. She had the munchies. You know what I'm saying? So she was digging through the closets and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, that's weird. I went to go get some food as well. So I was like, okay, maybe she's just on the same wave as me. But then I look to my right, and I look at the counter, and then I see a cart, and I'm like, oh. Okay. So I immediately connected, like, okay, she's smoking. That's why she's acting like this. And I was contemplating in my mind, should I bring it up or should I just let it slide, you know? And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna bring it up, because she did all this to me. She moved my schools. She took my phone. She shaved my head. There ain't no way I'm not gonna, So, I did go back in my room, play the game for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because I was in the middle of a match. And I come out, my mom's chilling on the couch. She's chilling, like big chilling. And I'm like, so what is this? You know what I'm saying? Because I ended up having, I was like, so what is this? And her whole face just lit up. She's like, and I was like, yeah, what is this? And then, I was like, how can you do all these things to me and then turn around and then you're doing it? You know what I'm saying? And here's the crazy thing. Because when I confronted her, she was like, take some, Caleb. Come smoke with me. You know what I'm saying? So in the moment, of course, I was like, okay, shoot, I'm gonna come smoke with you, you know? But I do realize that it was all the enemy, because I was fleeing from that stuff. I was doing good, and then now it's my mom, of course, exactly. Of course, we don't, wrestle against flesh and blood. I love my mom, to this day, and I'll tell you a little something about her at the end. But yeah, so I ended up doing it with her, and I was kind of hurt, not gonna lie. I was like, dang. Well, at least I can smoke again, and So, like I said, I started smoking with my mom and stuff like that, and this is where just things get so dark in my life, because before she caught me, she didn't know that I was smoking, obviously, and stuff like that. So I wasn't doing it as much, in moderation and stuff like that, being very cautious. But now that she knows that I'm smoking, exactly, she's okay with this. I'm like, okay, bet, this is heaven. I thought it was, I'm living life. I get to smoke anytime I want. She was even sending me to get weed for her, riding around with guns in the car and stuff like that. And it just got crazy, man. And yeah, man, it got super duper crazy. I got even more addicted, and this is where, the weed opened up to other things like mushrooms, tried mushrooms for the first time. I really didn't, feel anything. I didn't really trip off that. But I got into LSD, and mixing lean and with the Sprite and just beans, and I was experimenting, you know, because I was just trying to feel something. Like I was, you know how it is, addiction, you know. So I was just in, you know, that phase of my life where, you know, I really don't care. You know, I'm just gonna YOLO, like the world used, like everybody says now, like YOLO, you only live once. And I was living that. Like I was like, okay, bet, like I'm gonna do everything, I'm gonna touch everything, you know. And it got bad because I was going to kickbacks, I was going to clubs and parties, you know, having sex with women and stuff like that. And it was just, you know, it was crazy. But one day I end up coming home from school and I am high, you know, this day. Obviously, I'm high. And I walk into my house and I see everybody's good, you know, my brother's chilling and stuff like that. And as soon as I walk into that, like, to my house, I feel like it's like I can't even explain it to you guys. Like the atmosphere was a whole different atmosphere. And all I know is, although I can't really explain how I felt, I knew that it was not a good feeling at all. Like it was not good. Okay, I'll try to explain it the best way I can. It's like somebody was there that had a very bad presence I just couldn't see. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yo, what type of weed did this guy give me? You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, yo, what did he give me? I need to go back and buy from this guy, bro. And then I go and I asked my brother, and I'm like, yo, like, you need to try this. Like, I'm feeling like this. He's like, wait, I feel that too. And I'm like, oh shoot, what the heck? So it's not the weed. It's not the weed. I thought I got a good deal. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yeah, I feel that too. And I'm like, that's what really blew my mind. And I was like, okay. We both brushed it off to the side and stuff like that. And we thought it was nothing. You know, I was high and I was tripping. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna just, you know, enjoy my day. But the next day, I come home, I'm not high. Completely sober. I think because my mom was coming home. I don't know what happened. But I wasn't sober I wasn't high at this time. And I walk into the house, and as soon as I before I even touch the door, I feel those feelings, but it's even stronger. You know, and I walk into the house and I open up my door and I see my brother just standing there with complete fear in his eyes. Like, seeing him in fear put me in fear, because I'm like, I've never seen him like this before, you know, and he's over here like, he's scared. And he's like, yo, Caleb, bro, like, I've been waiting for you all day. And I'm like, word, like what's going on? And he's like, yo, like, our lives are going to change after I show you this, you know, because there was a lot of things happening in the home, like sleep paralysis and things moving in the home. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. So then he takes me to my mom's room, and once I get in the room, it's like a whole different atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the core. My mom's room was the core, and it was crazy, man. Like I was being attacked spiritually, although I didn't know that, you know, back then, but I know now that I was being attacked. You know, it was a spiritual attack. You know, because light and darkness, they do not mix. You know what I'm saying? They do not mix. And then my brother is just like, yo, bro, like, once again, like, this is why, you know, this stuff has been happening in the home. This is why I've been having sleep paralysis. This is why my other brother has been having sleep paralysis. And so he basically shows me the first item that he saw, and he shows me tarot cards. And on that card was the devil, the Baphomet, you know what I'm saying, throwing up the devil sign. And when I saw that card, man, I was like, yo, what the heck? Like, yo, this is like, I just started connecting the dots. I'm like, this is why everything is, you know, happening, you know, how it is, you know, why I've been feeling this way, why I've been sleeping crazy, seeing things, you know. And this is the first time that I really heard, you know, God speak to me. I'm not going to say that it was an audible voice, because it wasn't, but sometimes he'll speak to your heart, you know, through your thoughts. You know, you'll get a thought that's, oh, I didn't think that, you know, where did that come from? So I got a very, very strong thought, and it was like my son, like, go outside and burn those cards. And I was like, what the heck? Like, yo, like, what the heck? Who just, that was not me. But in the moment, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to listen because I wanted to burn the cars anyways.
Yeah.
And he just like,
Confirmed
confirmed it.
it.
Exactly. He was like, go burn those cars. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because the Bible says like we're supposed to expose darkness. You know what I'm saying? Like we're supposed to get rid of it. So me and my brother, I'm like, yo, we got to burn these cars right now. And he's like, yo, you sure? Like, what happens if, I'm like, bro, forget all of that. Let's go burn these cars right now. So we go outside in the back. And we have like this little grill, and we threw all the tarot cards. And by the way, guys, tarot cards, nowadays it is portrayed as good, especially in the Hispanic culture, Santeria and all those things. Like it is being pushed out as good. And sometimes the enemy will attack culture. So if you are doing tarot cards and, white magic, black magic, there is no good magic. You know what I'm saying? It's only God and the devil, miracles and, what I'm saying, magic. Yeah, that's all there is. So I warn you, if you are practicing witchcraft, going to psychic readings, that's not of God, because the moment where you transfer your trust off of God and put it onto something else, like a tarot card, a rock, a crystal, or whatever it may be, that's witchcraft, because you have now transferred your trust from God to the worldly, even yourself, or to the worldly, things, So I just wanted to say that.
And you know what's crazy? I always tell like some people are so quick to put their faith on a crystal, but like when it comes to Jesus, they don't want to hear it. I'm like, bro,
Right? Yeah.
a crystal, but not Jesus. Like,
Right? Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. Sometimes the enemy has you
Yeah.
wrapped up. So
And I was there once, I used to believe in crystals too and stuff like that. Everything else but Jesus.
Yeah.
Literally everything else but Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
It's like you tried everything, like you've done everything. All you had left was Jesus. Yeah.
Exactly. So I just wanted to say that. But yeah, so me and my brother put the cards on the grill and stuff like that. And we had some oil for the grill. We threw it all over the cards and we lighted it on fire. And for like 7 to 10 minutes straight, the cards would not burn. And I'm looking at my brother like, yo, what is happening? Like, we have to be dealing with some crazy stuff, because if you throw anything else on that grill, it's going to burn.
Yeah.
But these cards are not burning. Yeah. What is so different about these cards?
And they're cardboard, so they should
exactly,
be burning.
exactly. They're just cardboard tarot cards. That's all there is. You know what I'm saying? And the next thing you know, I look to my right, I look at my brother again, and he puts his head down and he starts to pray. And I'm like, okay, wow, I haven't done this in a minute, but why not? So I joined him and stuff like that. We started to pray, and as soon as we started to pray, the cards started to burn, like immediately. And not only that, but a bunch of crows started flying around us. It was like, bro, like...
Sounds like a movie.
Exactly, straight from a
does.
movie, like... Dude, like, and this is the stuff that's portrayed in the movies, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta know there's deeper meanings behind the movies too. The movies are trying to hide something, so Harry Potter, all those witch movies you see, it's telling a story. It's real. And I was living it, man. Like, the cars were burning. I was getting attacked spiritually. Like, it felt like, I can't even explain the feelings, man. So I'm sitting there watching the cars burn, and then God he gives me another thought. He's like, there's more. I'm like, what do you mean there's more? He's like, keep searching, keep looking. Go back in your mom's room and keep looking. So I'm like, okay, hold on, Eric. Let's go back inside real quick. I just have to do this. And we started searching in her room, and like I was only able to find her stash by God's grace. Yeah. Because God was I didn't know it was him now. I mean, I didn't know it was him back then, but now I know that he was leading me. Yeah. And he led me into the room, and my brother went completely opposite of where I was gonna go. He was like, okay, I'll look over here. I was like, I'm gonna go look in the closet. So my mom's closet, there's a lot of stuff in there, like a lot of stuff. And I was looking around, and this box stood out to me, a regular white box. And I was like, God was like, yeah, like, take that out. And I was like, okay, cool. So I take out the box and I open it, and that's her whole stash right there. So, you know how I told you about the first tarot card burnings? We found more tarot cards. We found candles, so she was doing candle magic. We found seasonings for food, so she was doing stuff with the food. Yeah. We found ancestors and oracle books and all this stuff. And I was like, yo, like, what the heck? So she's deep into this stuff. Mm-hmm. She's deep.
Like, she didn't just start that.
Exactly. No, she's been doing it. You know what I'm saying? And it started to add up, because my mom started to change. And like I said, if if you're partaking in witchcraft, you got to remember that our bodies are a temple, for good and for bad. And whatever you're practicing is what's going to show, is what people are going to see and feel. And my mom, she started, of course, practicing this stuff, and she was opening up her vessel to demonic spirits to the point where it was not her anymore. You know what I'm saying? And like everything about her was different, so I know that, okay, this is not my mom that we're dealing with. This is principalities. These are spirits, in heavenly places. You know what I'm saying? So in that moment, then and there, I'm like, man, like, this is a battle. This is a war. You know what I'm saying? And from there, everything got crazy because she ended up finding out that we burned the stash. You know what I'm saying? And it was a battle in my home to the point where, we were always arguing, and she was always arguing. We were trying to get closer to the Lord. We would read, and, we were trying to be as peaceful as we can, what I'm saying? And she would just try to always fight us and start things. And, she would keep our siblings away from us. And we were like, man, like, what's going on? Like, we're being hated by everybody, you know, and even our own family and stuff like that. And then it got crazy to the point where, like, because obviously we're a temple, she was, under control of these certain spirits to the point where one time, she got super mad at my brother Amir, and she almost killed him. Like Amir, they were arguing and stuff, and I've never seen my mom like this, and she got so mad, and she was like, I'm gonna kill you, and she started running at my brother Amir, and like started choking him and lifted him up. I'm like, yo, what the heck? And like, by God's grace, like, if I wasn't there, I don't know what would have happened. You know what I'm saying? So I told Mom, I was like, stop right now. Like, what are you doing? And like, she looked at me, and I was like, oh shoot, here we go. And she started running at me, but I'm covered by the blood, you know what I'm saying? By the blood of Jesus. I got angels around me because I was praying. I was trying to get closer to God. And she came right here, close to my face. And she just stared in my eyes. But when I looked in hers, I didn't see her. It wasn't my mom. And I had that love that, okay, Mom, I know it's not you. You're gonna be okay. We're gonna help you out. And she just stared me down. She didn't touch me. She didn't hit me. She didn't say not a word. And then she ran away. The only thing she did say is, she's like, "You're such a devil." I'm like, "Oh man." Wow. She called me the devil, and I'm like, "Okay, cool, all right, all right." So to make a long story short, the war is going on, and on top of that, the drugs, the depression, the witchcraft is making everything worse, especially now that she found out that we know. And I was tired of it. I was tired of it all. I was like, man, like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, if this is my life, like, man, I don't want this. So I remember, getting on my knees and just praying, like, crying out to God for help. Like, God, like, help me, like, deliver me from this situation. Like, I need you right now, man. Like, where are you? I need you. And I would pray and I wouldn't see a change. But there was this one particular night where I prayed, really wanted to end it all, like, suicidal thoughts. And I prayed, I was like, Lord, show me who you are, deliver me. And literally the next day, my whole life changes forever. So I wake up to my mom screaming at my baby sister, Bella. And it wasn't like any scream that I've ever heard in my life. Like, it was like a screech, man. Like she screeched at my baby sister and told her to get out of her room. And my baby sister comes running out, just crying and trembling with fear. And I tell her to come in my room. And then when she comes in my room, my brother Eric comes in the room as well. And we're all just there, just trying to comfort my, baby sister. We asked her what's wrong. And what she said blew my mind. She said, the reason why my mom yelled at her is because my baby sister called my mom evil, and that she's not her daughter anymore. So when I heard those words, I knew that, okay, this is real. Because my baby sister, who has no clue what's going on, is saying that my mom's evil. That's a problem, man. Like, that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? So we ended up praying and saying, oh, it's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. And then a little bit after that, me and my brother ended up leaving the house, because we didn't eat the food there. Obviously, she was, we didn't, we didn't even like being there because the atmosphere, it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
It affected our spirits and made us feel weird. So we went out to Chick-fil-A, man. Like, like I was hungry, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember this like it was yesterday, man. I got me a chicken sandwich with a strawberry milkshake, man. Bro, my gosh, bro. It was good, man. So we were having a good old time just trying to, it was like we were in a movie. We were just trying to like, man, we're like, what the heck is happening? You know what I'm saying? Because everything was happening so fast, man. And we're just talking, and, next thing you know, my mom calls my brother on the phone. And when she called, we felt that energy.
Yeah.
Like, it was deep. We felt that energy. And my brother was like, here we go, man. Like, we just gave each other that look like, man, like something's finna happen.
Yeah.
We didn't say nothing, but we gave each other that look. If you know, you know what I'm saying? And my mom, she was like, can you guys come to the house? I have to have a 3-minute sweet talk with you guys. And I'm like, sweet? Nothing is sweet. At the time, nothing was sweet about my mom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I knew something was wrong. So, of course, me and my brother went. And we got to the house, and she's sitting out on the porch, and we're walking up, and, she's like, okay, we're going to be out here, stand right here, don't move, and stuff like that. And then she holds up her phone. I guess she has everything written on her phone, and she was rehearsing it or something. And then she starts reading from it, and then she puts it down. She's like, you know what? I need you guys to leave my house right now. Like, you guys are no longer welcome here. And me and my brother were like, yo, what the heck? Like, we were not expecting this at all, man. And at this time, I was 16, I believe. So it was like illegal to kick me out. I'm a minor. My brother, he was a little older, but my mom just wanted both of us gone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, darkness, light, it don't mix. You know what I'm saying? It does not mix. And I tried to hear my mom out. I was like, okay, we'll leave, but tell us why. Is that reasonable? She's like, okay, I'll tell you why. So the first thing that she said was, number one, I'm kicking you guys out because you didn't buy laundry detergent. Yo, I almost bursted out laughing. I thought it was a prank. I thought she was lying, man.
She was pranking you?
Yeah, like I thought this was like a joke. Cause like what? Like laundry, you're supposed to buy that for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, So I was me and my brother were both thrown off. Like it took so much of us not to like die like laughing, man.
Yeah.
And she was okay, what else? And she goes, cause you were nothing but dirty. And I'm like, okay. Like, because I'm always, like, cleaning the house, making sure that everything is good. So everything that she was saying was, like, invalid, And next thing you know, once she realized herself that the reason she was giving wasn't good enough, she ended up getting mad and calling my stepdad. If you know anything about Dominicans, so he just came and he got us out. Yeah. He got us out. We got our stuff when we left and stuff like that. And at this point in my life, I called, my grandma because I didn't know what to do. My brother had a place to go. He was going to stay with his dad. And I was like, oh, man, I need somewhere to go. Yeah. And I felt led to call my grandma. And I called her. I was like, there's so much happening right now. I can't explain it all at once. I just need you to come pick me up. I just got kicked out of the house. Yeah. And that's basically, the story, man. Ever since, she came and got me, and I've been living with my grandma, and it's not a coincidence that my grandma's a believer. Yeah. And man, like ever since I've been over here, I've just been walking with God, man, and it's been amazing, And like I said before, like I know I told you I was praying for deliverance. And the next day I'm getting kicked out of the house. I'm getting removed from the situation. I'm getting placed into a home of love and just comfort and peace and patience. There was no ruckus, no arguing. Like it was a nice, environment, a foundation. And I just praise God for that, every day. So yeah, I've been here, rocking with God ever since. So
man,
that's crazy.
Cool. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
There's one thing, like you said, like you prayed about it. You're like, God, whoa, what happened? Oh, it's so good. All right. There's one thing on there like that I wanted. Like you prayed about deliverance the day before, and then the next day you're getting kicked out. Like, sometimes that happens to us. Like we ask God for something, but we think it's gonna come in a certain way. You know, when you had that, you're like, why is this happening? Why am I getting kicked out? But you literally ask God. God, I want to be out of this place.
Exactly.
Like, I want to be out of this situation. You might have thought like, okay, my mom's gonna be fine, and then we're all gonna be fine. But God was like, no, not yet. I want to get you out of this place and put you in a place where my presence is there.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so like, I feel like that could happen with something else too. Like sometimes we ask God something and then we get it, just not in the way we wanted it.
Exactly.
And then we're complaining about it. We're like, God's like, whoa, you asked me for this. It's like,
Exactly.
you asked me for this,
Yeah,
and now you're
yeah.
complaining you got it. So,
Yeah.
but that's crazy, man. That's a crazy testimony, man. Where this is the second time I hear it. It's like even now, like I was getting chills, like just hearing about it, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like I said, it's like you tried everything, you've experienced everything, and it's like all you were left with was Jesus.
Exactly.
And that's how you came to His feet. Like you've tried everything, and God put you in a place where you can have that relationship with Him.
For
You know,
sure.
start building that relationship, start building your faith. So I want to touch up on a different topic. I know that you're an upcoming nutrition coach, that you like working out and whatnot. So how did you get involved in all this with all the nutrition stuff, all the working out and all that? How'd you get involved?
Okay.
In all
Yeah.
this?
So all my life I've been athletic, into sports, hitting the gym and stuff like that. But it really, and I think you're asking that, it really started getting serious when I started getting closer to God. When I started reading His Word more and realizing that our body is the temple of God, and His Spirit dwells within us. You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking to myself, like, the least I can do is give God a healthy temple to dwell in.
Yeah.
That's the least I can do. He deserves it.
Yeah.
And I started, doing a whole lot of research, on certain foods and stuff like that. And I started finding out, like, the stuff that I was eating and consuming on a daily basis that the world portrays as good, it was really destroying me on the inside. On the outside, I looked good. I had the gains and stuff like that. But on the inside, I was decaying, every single day. So that led me to go on a plant-based diet, started doing some more research, being on plant-based and stuff like that. Life has been very great ever since I stopped eating, like, dairy and meat and stuff like that. So I just started taking it more seriously, and especially like when I realized that I had influence, so even working out, like I said, all my life I've been different. So at school, everybody would be doing their thing, but I'll be in the corner, doing some calisthenics, or I'll be doing some crazy workouts. And then I would see that people would be looking at me, and then eventually, like, I would ask people, like, yo, like, you want to work out with me? And like, as soon as one came, a whole bunch of people started coming. So I'm like, yo, like, maybe, I can do something. God wants me to do something with this, because influence, like, I used to be a bad influence on people. All my life I've had influence, but it was bad. But now I'm like, wait, like, I can use that influence, and use it for good, So I started, training people, I started teaching people, like, it's not only good to be, aligned with God spiritually, but it's also good to be physically as well. Good in health, spiritually and physically, so that's
cool, bro. And I have another question, like,
Okay. Should we fix it though?
we're good? Okay. So, like I was saying, I have another question. How did your body react to that switch? Like, from going to, like, eating all this meat, and now you have this plant-based diet. Like, how'd your body, like, react to that?
Especially, like, struggling, bro. I feel like especially me, like, dude, like, Hispanics, like, I'm Mexican. My wife's Argentinian. So, like, it's just...
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere, like,
for sure,
everything. So it's like, dude, just eating meat, like, I'll think about it, and I'm like, nah, I can't do it. Like, I can't stop eating meat or chicken. Like, dude, I love meat or chicken. I can eat that all day. But I'm like, how do these people, like, do it? Like, or how did you do it? Like, was it hard at first, or was it like...
So, honestly, I'm just gonna agree 110% with you guys, because I'm Puerto Rican. So I already, like, I'm on that same wave. Like, man, like, I used to eat meat, and especially when, my stepdad would cook the mofongo with the pork, and man, like, I used to love, meat, growing up. So one thing I will say is, like, I learned, like, sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do to get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to deny the flesh, you know, and that's our flesh. It craves certain things that we're so used to. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to go against my flesh, you know, and it was hard. It really was hard. I started off as because I started watching documentaries about meat and dairy. So I started off going. I think I was pescatarian. You know, I was eating fish and stuff like that, and dairy. And then my body actually was. It was adapting, but at the same time, I was like, yo, like, where's the meat? Like, where's the stuff that you usually feed me? You know, so of course I had to fight those urges of, oh man, like I really want a steak right now, or I really want some wings, you know, so I of course I had to fight those things. That we're always gonna, you know, be doing that. You know, that's our flesh. You know, our flesh craves certain things. You know, pleasure. Yeah. You know, and I've learned to fight against that pleasure and to do what's right bodily, spiritually. You know, but I can say ever since that you know, the transition of switching from eating meat to not, like I felt a whole lot of, you know, benefits. You know, I started to sleep better. You know, I could think better. My brain was less foggy. I had way more energy. I saw the results in my skin. You know, even working out, I was getting stronger. And I'm like, hey, I mean, this isn't so bad. You know, after all. And then once I found out there's supplements for meat as well. You know, so there's mock meat. You know, you can go to a vegan restaurant and they have meat and stuff like that. So I was like, like I was so worried about what I would lose, but not worrying about all the things that I would gain. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a whole different world of food out there that doesn't conserve, you know, dairy and meat. And so I'm still learning. I'm still, you know, finding out certain things like, yo, like what the heck? I've never seen that before. I've never ate that before. You know, so it's been pretty cool. Yeah.
That's cool. And I feel like it's so important to take care of your body. And I have another question for you. Like, why would you say that it is important to stay in shape, to maintain your body, like going, you're healthy, you feel energized every day? Why is it important mentally, spiritually, physically? Like, why is that important?
Great question. So it is super important to maintain your body because just like, you know, the Lord is, you know, 1 in 3. Everybody says 3 in 1. I say 1 in 3 because he's one God. He just chooses to express himself in 3 different ways. One God, 3 different ways. So just like he's Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, we have a body, you know, we have a spirit, you know, we have mental health, emotional health. It's like it's all connected. Just like God is all connected, we're all connected. So if one aspect of our body is messed up, like physically, that's going to mess with our spiritual state. It's going to mess with, you know, let's say if you're intaking all the wrong food, it's going to mess with you not only physically, because you might feel, you know, sluggish and non-motivated and, you know, because our bodies are machines. And if we're giving it the wrong fuel, you're not going to see the right results. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important because the things that we intake, the food that we intake, also plays a role on our mental health and our emotional health as well. You know, because if we're eating a whole bunch of junk, we're gonna feel like junk. You know, but if you're giving your body the right type of foods, you're going to see that, you know, the right type of results, you know, and it's just so much better because I've noticed like now that I'm healthy, I'm fit, I'm staying active, I'm wanting to do more things like go outside, you know, which is very good for your mental health. I'm just wanting to do so much more things that's just good mentally, spiritually, and physically, you know. So it just plays a role because even though our body, we have different parts, it's all connected. So,
Yeah, I definitely agree with that because I try to take care of my body best as I can. I try to eat good, maintain my body. I want to stay in shape, you know, and when I do that, I feel so much more energized and I want to do so much more things. Because there has been moments in my life where like I'll just throw a bunch of junk in my body and I just don't do anything. I just stay home, I'll play video games, or I just stay out scrolling through TikTok like the whole day and I just don't want to do anything.
Lazy. Like sometimes Sundays you go eat something and it's like, you know,
you get tired.
Hispanic food has like a lot of like grease on it, oils. Bro, like as soon as you're done eating, like you're like, I need a nap. Instead of like going out and be like, oh, I need to go to the park and walk.
It like does the opposite to you. It's like when you eat good, like you want to do everything, and then you eat bad, and you're like I don't want to do anything.
I want to take a nap. So it's crazy.
I noticed that as well. Like even when like let's say I'd have, you know, lunch, you know, and it was a big meal, you know, mac and cheese, you know, fried chicken, or you know, you can only imagine plátanos. You can only imagine everything that I had on the plate, and I would eat it, and it was very good. But afterwards, I'm like, bro, like. I feel horrible. I'm bloated. Like I just want to, you know, kick my feet up and watch some TV and stuff like that. I'm like, man, like, and even when I would go to sleep, like, I couldn't sleep. Why? Because we're putting so much stuff on our body that our body is not used to. So it's taking so much more time to break it down. So that's why some people have trouble sleeping after dinner because they put the wrong things in their body, and their body's using all that energy just to break it down. And then you'll fall asleep. And I noticed when I started eating the right foods, it's like after my meal, I feel great. I'm not bloated. I'm like, man, like this is amazing, and I can go to sleep like, you know, like nothing happened. You know, so yeah, it definitely plays a role. Yeah, for sure.
And it's crazy because like when you go to the stores, you go to Walmart, you go to Kroger, like everything is labeled as something good. Like they'll put, for example, they'll make like, let's say some cereal, I don't know, what's a cereal? Fruit Loops. They'll be like, oh, 0 sugar Fruit Loops. I'm like, well, like, how's that any better, you know? Like, because Fruit Loops has like a whole bunch of like stuff that's just like not good for your body, right?
Or sometimes that says 0 sugar, but it has like a whole bunch of added sugar stuff, which is even worse sometimes. Like, so it's like,
it's like they just try to label everything as something good. Like all the stores do that. Like every company does that. They try to label something as something good, so you look at it and it looks good from the outside, but internally it's like destroying your body, you know?
Yeah, one thing I can add on that is like, just because like something looks good, tastes good, or sounds good doesn't mean it's good. You know what I'm saying? Like think about in the beginning, you know, before we even fell, Adam and Eve, like they looked at the tree, and the Bible says they saw that it was good to the eye. It looked good. It sounded good, like, ooh, that fruit, man, okay.
Yummy.
You know, good. God was talking about that fruit. He said not to eat it, but it sounds like it would be good. You know, so do not be deceived, you know, because even, you know, the devil comes portrayed as an angel of light. You know what I'm saying? But he's, you know, the devil in disguise. So.
Bro, nowadays they're making like lettuce where it's not even real lettuce. They're like manufacturing lettuce, like
GMO.
And I'm like, bro, how? And the people, and I've seen videos about it, like it pops up on TikTok or Instagram. People are like, dude, it tastes like lettuce, but it's not real lettuce.
It's
like,
not real
it's not
lettuce.
real food. Like it's not coming from the ground where God said it grow from. No, it's people are making it.
Exactly.
And I'm like, bro.
And that's
Nowadays,
the same thing.
it's crazy. Or like even like you go to the store and it says organic. A lot of times it's not organic.
It's not organic.
They're just putting that to bump up the price, but a lot of times it's not organic. And like my brother and my sister, they grow like they have like little gardens on the side of their house. They live like down the street, and they grow their stuff. And like the other day, me and my wife went and ate a soup, and they went and cut cilantro. Oh, that cilantro drink is so good. It tasted so good because it was like they grabbed it. They have a little plant. They just grabbed it, put it on the soup, and it tasted so good. I've never tasted some cilantro so good. But it's crazy nowadays, man. Everything is like everything you eat out there it's bad.
Everything, you know, and it's, you know, it's the government, you know, population control. You know, we're living too long, so they're trying to do things to the food that will, you know, make us have diseases and stuff like that. And even the fruits and the vegetables, some of the fruits and vegetables aren't real. Like broccoli is man-made. You know, a lot of the grapes and watermelons are GMO, you know, genetically modified, and they're not real. So it's like, man, like the world is against us. You know what I'm saying? And of course, the world is going to portray like, because I know when I went on this diet, I had a lot of hate. Like, like man, like, how you going to, you know, grow muscle? How you going to do this and do that? And I'm like, if you guys think about it, God created us to have an alkaline diet. I have a question for you guys. In the Garden of Eden, what do you think we were eating all the time? You know what I'm saying? Was there meat? Were we killing animals in the beginning? You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to revert back to, you know, the image of God. You know what I'm saying? Because, of course, we were created in the image of God, but that image got altered. So the whole sanctification is, you know, the image being, you know, God is pulling us back to his image. You know, because it's you know, altered right now. You know, so I'm just trying to go back to how it was. You know, and now that I'm seeing, okay, alkaline diet, I'm drinking alkaline water, foods with alkaline and stuff like that, and I'm reaping the fruits and the benefits of, you know, following, you know,
what about like drinks? You don't drink no soda, you don't drink nothing?
I do not.
Just water.
And sometimes smoothies. Sometimes I have some juice, you know, it depends on how, you know, what's in it, the sugar and stuff, but I drink water all day, every day.
That's very good. So like, what would you say to someone out there who's like struggling, trying to get to that point where they just like eating healthy every day, drinking water? What would you say to someone
or even
who's
like,
struggling
bro,
with
putting it in your head to lose weight? Like for me, I used to weigh like 185 like what 4 or 5 years ago before I got married. And then I don't know, I'm like 250, probably 260 now. But the thing is like putting it in your head, I lose weight quick. Like if I put my effort into it, I lose weight quick.
For sure, yeah.
Because I've done it before. As a little kid, I was like chubby kid, and then I was like, okay, I gotta lose weight. I did it quick. Then after that, I would gain weight. I would lose it. I lose quick. The thing is putting it in my head to actually do it.
Right.
So what would
yeah.
you tell people out there? They're like, okay, I gotta put my life in straight, or like my priorities, eat good, like go to the gym and stuff. How do you put that in your head where you're like, okay, I have to do it. Like I have to do it. Like and
Okay,
keep
yeah.
it there.
Yeah, so one thing I would say for those who are, like what he said and what you said, those who are trying and those who are trying to put in their heads is, first of all, it's not going to be easy. It's not an easy process. And what I could say is take it step at a time, and try not to, on your journey and stuff, comparison is a thief of joy, so you'll see on social media all these and influencers, fitness wise, nice body, healthy and stuff like that, and then you look at yourself and you're like, dang, that just makes you not want to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So don't compare yourself on the journey, take it one step at a time. And the one thing that really like kept me is just dedication, motivation, and knowing, like I said, that our bodies is a temple of God. And not only just like, because it's good, like when, walking down the street, if you look good, you're going to get recognized. It's not only like you'll see the outward applause, but do it for yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, our body's a temple. You want to take care of it, I have a question for y'all. Y'all want to flourish in health, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So like, do it for yourself, and like I said, it comes to the point where it's a battle now. It's the flesh. You see, your flesh is like, oh man, I don't want to get up and go to the gym. Oh man, I don't want to switch my way. I don't want to change my eating habits, man. Like I can do that next week, but next week is not even promised.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the biggest goal and the biggest tip that I can give those out there who are, struggling right now is, first, pray. You know what I'm saying? Pray, talk to God about it, help him because he cares about your health. Actually, in the word, it talks about he wants you to flourish in health. So pray and bring your burdens to the Lord and say, like God, like, I want to change. I want to have a better health. I want to lose some weight, or even you want to gain some weight,
Yeah.
So take it to the Lord in prayer and he'll start helping you. It's not going to be easy. And shoot, I still have my days where I'm like, like a couple of days ago, I had some sweets, you know what I'm saying? I ate some chocolate something, some chocolate donut,
Yeah.
So I have my days as well. But the thing is, it's our nature,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And if we fall, get back up,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's the biggest advice that I could give is like, not only do it for God because he deserves a healthy temple, do it for other people because you're going to get recognition, and do it for yourself because you're going to feel so much better, you know what I'm saying? And once you start putting in that work and you look back, you're like, man, like I'm so glad that I did that, or you would still be stuck in that same spot, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
I like that you say take it step by step, because I was watching this video the other day. There was this guy, he was obese. He had lost 100 pounds. He was planning on losing more because I think he was around 500 pounds, I think it was. He was obese. And there was this guy that was trying to eat how he did and exercise how he did for a day. It was this guy, he's a fitness coach. He already does it, but he wanted to do what he does for a day. And when they did their meals, he was like, do you not count your calories? And he was like, no, I don't count my calories. I don't count my macros either, because like I do so many things already, and if I start putting other things on my plate, like I'm not gonna want to start doing it anymore, because then it feels like a lot. Like, dang, I gotta go to the gym. I gotta start counting my macros, my calories. I gotta start doing this. I gotta start doing that. And it just started like consumes you, and it just feels heavy on you, and you just don't want to do it anymore, and then you give up. But I like that you say that, because he was in that situation where he had to take everything step by step. Yeah, because he was obese, but he lost 100 pounds, and he didn't do it by counting his macros, his calories, any of that, because he felt that it was too heavy for him. But honestly, at some point, he would probably do that. Okay. So yeah, there's this guy, he lost a whole bunch of weight, and he didn't do it by counting his macros. He didn't count any of his calories. Like, he felt that it was too heavy for him. So he said, okay, I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna do the most that I can do right now. And I'm gonna start practicing this step by step. and at some point I'm gonna get to where I want to be.
Right. Yeah.
So I like that you said that.
Exactly. And even for me, like I took it step by step because I didn't want to, cut out meat. I didn't want to cut out certain things from my diet, certain things from my lifestyle, but like I said, sometimes you got to do what you don't want to do to get where you want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that where you want to be is not going to come easy, and you may not have fun doing it sometimes, like getting up, early in the morning to hit the gym or, swapping out a meal or let's say, if you have a meal for breakfast, swapping it out, putting some fruits or something on, so it's the little things that will take you far in life.
Yeah.
Everybody neglects the little things, but it's really the little things. What does the Lord say? Faith as a what? A mustard seed.
Yeah.
A mustard seed is little. Yeah. So guys, like focus on the little things, and as you get the little things down, you'll notice like, wait, like I got the little things down. Now I can move up to the medium. I can do this. Yeah. So step by step for sure.
Okay, so I guess we'll close it out. What's the last thing you would say to the people out there? What's some?
It's like a message.
Yeah, just a message.
So perfect. So the thing that I want to say is anything is possible with God, so if you're stuck right now, no matter your circumstance, anything is possible with God. If you have goals, if you have dreams, like you can accomplish it, but you just got to put God first. You may feel like you're stuck in a cycle, like call on God, like it's Jesus. I've tried everything. And as soon as I tried Jesus, it's like nothing else was able to, compare to that. So keep believing, keep trusting, and stay motivated and dedicated. Yes, sir.
And one last thing before you leave, I'm saying, like, you say you were going to say something about your mom after?
Oh, yeah. Thank you, bro. Yeah, so I love my mom so much. Like, I have no hate for my mom. She's amazing. She actually gave her life to Jesus.
Oh, wow.
And my siblings got baptized. So
Amen.
Prayer is powerful. And that brings up something else, too. Like, if you have somebody in your life, friends or family or whatever, continue to keep praying. Because, guys, I prayed and I prayed and I prayed for about 1.5 years, and at first I wasn't seeing any fruit, but I didn't give up. Like I said, that consistency, that dedication, that motivation, discipline. So I would pray, and the next thing you know, I'm seeing the fruit in my mom's life. Like she said that she's ready to surrender. She started going to church now. She had a whole business. Like she was a spiritual coach, a spiritual mentor, and she would do tarot card readings, and she went in there and she told everybody, like, this is wrong. She spread the word to them. She lost a lot of clients, a lot, and she transformed the business and everything, and she's doing amazing. And like that, like now that my mom started to change, it made my siblings like, oh, wow, like, I want to get baptized, stuff like that. So, so prayer is powerful for sure.
No,
pray for your family, guys.
Thank you for being here with us, for everything you share. I know there's going to be at least one person out there that's going to really be touched by this.
Lord
like
willing.
when you told us this, man, I was like, we got to bring him on the podcast. Like, his story has to be heard out there. But no, thank you, man. We appreciate it for you coming out. And you're always welcome to come back if you need to.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me.
So thank you again. Thank you, guys. That wraps up episode, 4? 5?
A episode.
I forgot what episode we're at. But thank you, guys. We'll see you next time. Peace.
All right. Okay.